Being 5:15, I'd like to call this the Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024 Sewer Utility Commission meeting to order. We stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call has been taken.
Pass.
Thank you. Any changes or additions to the agenda?
There are none.
Thank you. Being none, I'd look for motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Barrington, seconded by Mr. Besaw to adopt the agenda as presented. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, sewer fund budget as presented.
All right. We are going to be, or I am going to be presenting the 2025 sewage fund budget. Ben is also with us tonight, so if there's any questions about the details of the budget that I can't answer, he is back there. And we can bring him up if there's any specific questions you have about the plant moving forward. So we will start with, here I just put together a dialogue of what the sewage fund is about. Just so you know, the sewer fund does not actually levy tax. All of the money that pays for that plant is in user fees. So this isn't an actual tax levy for our wastewater treatment plant. It operates more like a business than it does a government unit. So we will go through then the 25 budget. So these are estimated revenues for 2025. We are anticipating that the plant will take in about $2.2 million. A lot of times when we do these estimates from year to year, Ben will come in and he will say that he has a hauler that's coming in that's unanticipated. Just so you know, those numbers do not show up here because those numbers are not counted on from year to year. We don't actually estimate that those will come in from one year to the next. So a lot of times you'll see that budget revenue higher than anticipated when he has haulers come in that weren't expected. Other interest revenue, we have $45,000 and then special assessments of $20,000. We are continuing to collect special assessments on Division Street, Warner Allen Boulevard, and North Water Street. And here's the dollars that we still need to collect for those. $9,000 on Division, a little bit on Warner Allen, and then $308,000 actually on North Water Street. And then on the expenditure side, we have the collection system in the amount of $155,000. The wastewater treatment plant itself, almost at 1.5 million. This includes a lift station rebuild, some influent pump maintenance, and an electrical upgrade on building number 20. You can see it's, it is much higher than normal. We are seeing those increases. We have some increase in the chemical costs over there, repairs of equipment. As we know, everything is costing us more to repair. The plant is getting older, so we're seeing more increase of costs for those. Sludge disposal. And then there also is an $80,000 increase in there for the plant upgrade that we all know is coming in our near future. So our net results of operations are negative 242,000. Now that when I look at that, it's not too concerning to me because the $783,000 right here of depreciation is not actual dollars that go out. What it says is you should be putting in fund balance $783 for the operation of that budget or the maintenance of that budget over time. The other reason it's not too concerning is next year we're going to actually go out to for another sewer rate study. So we will be, there's dollars in there for a sewer rate study, correct, for next year. The upgrade is coming, so debt service is coming for the wastewater treatment plant. So at that time, those sewer rates will be adjusted also to pay for those things moving forward. On the expenditures, we have principal of 235,000, wastewater treatment plant equipment of 50,000. This dollar amount actually gets put away each year. If you can see, there's designated funds in our wastewater treatment plant. We would add $350,000 to this. It's a way to keep dollars for equipment. So once a piece of equipment would need to be replaced, we wouldn't have to wonder where those dollars are coming from. A lot like we do with our capital equipment on the general fund side. We save dollars over time. So it's not such a hit to your budget in any given year. All right, then we also have the large dollar amount for collection system rehab. This is water mains and water laterals. We put $430,000. That's a pretty large dollar amount from year to year, but we also know we're going in Oshkosh Street and we're going into Mill Street coming up. So we are putting those dollars away if they're not spent from year to year. In fact, from 2024, we expect to put the entire check. I looked and there wasn't anything spent. So anything that's not spent would go in designated funds. More likely than not to be used on Mill Street. Because Oshkosh Street, I think we're going to bond for those dollars. And if we do geo debt, what happens is I just split the bonding and the wastewater treatment plant will pay for their portion and the general fund will pay for their portion of that debt service. So with that, at the end of the year, we would anticipate a decrease actually in the results of operations of the fund. Our audited financials, so in 2024, we anticipate about $1.6 million. Take away the 343, still in pretty good shape in that fund, knowing we're collecting more than that here in special assessments. So the 25 year-end working capital is 1.36. And again, 300,000 designated into the equipment. That would be the total dollar amount at the end of the year. And then the main lateral at 430. So undesignated funds is 606,000. And here are the projects that I talked about moving forward for the wastewater treatment plant. We do not have an estimate. I know Robert's working on the Oshkosh Street project as we talk or as we speak. So eventually we'll get that dollar amount and what that's going to look like on Oshkosh Street. But Mill Street has an estimate and that's a couple years old already. So we'll see where that comes in. And then the upgrade for the phosphorus limits 24 million. When Ben said that to me, I was like, what? So that is the correct number, 24 million for the upgrade for the plant. And as you know, he's looking into grants and all kinds of things to help us through that process. And we will see that where that all comes in and lands next year. And you guys will hear about that continuously in the Department of Public Works committee meetings and where that's going to go. Anybody have any questions on where the wastewater treatment plants expenditures, revenues, or where anything sits over there, or
Any further questions for Judy? If none, I'll look for a motion on the sewer fund budget.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Barrington, seconded by Mr. Besaw to approve the sewage fund budget as presented. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Judy.
welcome.
Next is the motion to adjournment.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Ritchie and second by Mr. Dorsey to adjourn. Any further comments or questions? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.